It was a question of time. I did not trust any of the village customers, and I was convinced that at least one of them was a rank stool pigeon. Dewey was my number one suspect, with Nick running a very close second. Narcotics agents operate largely with the aid of informers. The usual routine is to grab someone with junk on him and let him stew in jail until he is good and sick. Then comes the spiel. We can get you 5 years for possession. On the other hand, you can walk out of here right now. The decision is up to you. If you work with us, we can give you a good deal. For one thing, you'll have plenty of junk and pocket money. That is, if you deliver. Take a few minutes to think it over. The agent takes out a few caps and puts them on the table. This is like pouring a glass of ice water in front of a man dying of thirst. Why don't you pick them up? Now you're being sensible. The first man we want to get is... Some of them don't need to be pressured. Junk and pocket money is all they want, and they don't care how they get it. Sooner or later, the peddlers get wise to a pigeon, and the pigeon can't score. Where this happens, his usefulness to the agents is at an end, and they usually turn him in. Often he ends up doing more time than anybody he sent up. After the hotel clerk spoke to me, I moved to another hotel and registered under another name. I stopped going to the village and shifted all the village customers to uptown meets. When I told Gaines what the hotel clerk said to me, and how lucky we were he happened to be a right guy, he said, "We've got to pack in. We can't last with this crowd." So Bill left for Lexington, and I started for Texas in my car. I had 1/16 ounce of junk with me. I figured this was enough to taper off, and I had a reduction schedule carefully worked out. It was supposed to take 12 days. I had the junk in solution and in another bottle distilled water. Every time I took a dropper of solution out to use it, I put the same amount of distilled water in the junk solution bottle. Eventually, I would be shooting plain water. 4 days later in Cincinnati, I was out of junk and immobilized. I have never known one of these self-administered reduction cures to work. You find reasons to make each shot an exception that calls for a little extra.
This is absolutely fantastic.
Why the
Go
junk
ahead.
is all
Tell me,
gone
Gobby.
and you still have your habit.
Oh, you're a fucking genius, you.
I left the
Good
car
girl.
in storage
Good
and
baby.
took a train to Lexington.
This book, this is amazing.
I
This
did
is what,
not
this is what
have
I'm
the
going to write.
papers that
It's
are
nice, isn't
required
it?
for
It's
it,
beautiful.
but I was
Beautiful.
relying on my
I had
discharge.
an insoluble solution, which
When
I had a
got to Lexington,
self-reduction
I took a taxi
program
out to
based
the
on, but of
hospital,
course, like
several
all
miles
self-reduction
from town.
reduction programs,
We reached the gatehouse of the
Oh,
It
hospital.
dwindled.
In the gatehouse
I got to
was
Cincinnati,
no
and not
Irish
only did I
guard.
have no
He looked at my
solution,
army
but I had no junk left.
Are you addicted to
The
use
general told you
habit
that
forming
he's
drugs?
cocaine liquefying.
Oh, mate,
Well,
general's
sit
got some
down.
fucking gangsters.
Then up to the main building, you're liable to prosecution for introducing contraband articles into a government reservation. I've got
I'll say one thing though. Before Kate
The
deported
guard
me, she
took me
went
to my
through my
ward.
suitcase with a fine-tooth comb,
If you want to get
took
off
out every
drugs,
single bit of
he
fucking
said,
drug-related
this is the
paraphernalia that
place
could have
to
got me
do
nicked
it.
at the airport.
Did
The
she?
ward
Bless
attendant
her
asked me
heart,
if I
honestly.
really wanted
fact,
to get
Yeah,
off
she looked
drugs.
after you. Why did she
I
bought you?
said yes.
Why?
He assigned
Because
me
I phoned and said I'd be 20 minutes, but I couldn't remember the rest of the
About 15
hotel,
minutes
and she
later,
thought I was
the
winding her up.
attendant
Taxi
called,
driver came up, listen to me, I'm not
"Shut
joking.
line."
Taxi driver came out to the
Everyone
out
on
me out of the
board
blue. Remember, I don't
lined
speak Thai, and I'm the only white
As our
person about
names were
at this
called,
party.
we put an
Grabbed his by the
arm
throat
through a
pull, man.
window in the
It all got
door
really
of the
nasty.
ward
I had no
dispensary,
choice, right, but to fucking
and
defend
the
myself.
attendant gave
Yeah.
the shot.
I don't know what I did, but
Sick
I defended
as I
myself. Right?
was,
This
the
bloke was
shot
vicious. He had me
fixed
by the
me.
throat. He was going, you
Right away, I
da, 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 da,
began
da.
to get
And
hungry.
What is his problem?
I don't know.
Three
I
shots.
don't know
Right,
because
you
I
get- work out what
think
he's
it's
saying.
because I stopped him and he took so long reversing back to get me. I got in someone else's car.
Yeah.
The guy
And
dragged me out of
1
the car and I'm trying to like peace, and then when he hit me, that was it. I picked up a metal rod and I started cracking him.
Oh no.
It was on the Thai news.
Right, they're police lovers, aren't they?
The police laugh.
Peace lovers. Peace lovers.
Police
No, just
somehow I made a
ridiculous.
friend. When he said to
How
the police
about
that I
you?
was with David Tang,
Same
Burroughs,
with me, yes.
they laughed.
Right,
didn't believe it.
Right.
Right.
right. David Tang's like the rich, very rich guy.
David Tang's the man.
New
Oh,
arrivals
you
were
love him,
brought
and
to
he
the
loves
ward
you.
during the night.
He's quite intellectual but filthy.
The ward attendant threw
One of the
up his
richest men in the
hand.
country.
I don't know where I'm gonna put them.
Yeah,
I've
he's
got
he does
31 dope
the
things
Independent
in here
one
now.
the one
Among
that
the
was
new
taken to my
arrivals
favourite
was a
restaurant
dignified,
in
white-haired
London,
man of
interviewed me.
17 named Bob
And,
Riordan. An
I asked him about
old-time
it, so I said,
con
"You go
man,
too
junk
sweet.
pusher,
The
and
Jamaican place on
pickpocket.
Chatsworth Road where a
He
person
looked
gets
the
with
way
oxtail
bankers
rice.
looked around
Or
1910.
China Tangs, beneath the
He'd come
Dorchester,
with two friends
where they
in a
have
car.
piped T.S. Eliot poetry in the
On the way
box.
to Lexington,
Special
they
places to
called
do
the
lines.
Surgeon General
And
at
those wonderful
Washington
fucking views.
and asked
Best
him
Bloody
to
Marys in
wire
London.
ahead to the
Just
gate.
Jagger on the door.
That they were coming and should be let
She
right
spends a lot of
in.
time there.
She's got her
The
somewhere, doesn't she?
Surgeon General
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
Felix, and
So you got
seemed
the
to know
family
him from
Jagger.
way back. Only Riordan got in that night. The other two